Qualcuno di voi si ricorda il gioco Replaced? Lo presentarono parecchio tempo fa e come apparì a schermo in questo primissimo trailer questa cosa un po' retro ma 2.5D con le tecniche moderne, molto cyberpunk, no? E tutti quanti siamo rimasti estasiati perché sembrava veramente fatto con tantissima cura e molto molto bene. Beh, sappiate che alla Gamescom c'erano delle informazioni in più e gli sviluppatori hanno appena parlato un po' più del gioco. Perciò è quello che vedremo adesso, perché questo gioco fin da quando l'hanno annunciato la prima volta mi è rimasto in testa, ok? Quindi c'è un nuovo video che è di IGN e... sì, entrambi i video sono di IGN, perfetto. Allora, via l'audio, ecco qua. Siete pronti ragazzi? Mettiamo i sottotitoli automatici. Vai.
When you've played video games long enough, you eventually develop something of a spidey sense when you see a game that seems like it's going to be extra special. You never know until the final product is on your hard drive, of course, but more often than not, that sixth sense is correct. Replaced, a 2.5D action-adventure game drenched in an absolutely stunning sci-fi cyberpunk pixel art aesthetic, complete with incredible camera work and moody music, is making that spidey sense tingle. I'd already played a brief 3-part demo over a year ago, which only reinforced that feeling I first got after the initial reveal 4 years ago. This time, I got to play the first 30 or so minutes of the campaign, and it did nothing to dampen my enthusiasm for what could be, if the rest of the game delivers, an all-time indie classic in the same category as Limbo, Braid, Inside, Balatro, etc.
Questa è una vera e propria preview, l'hanno provato, l'hanno giocato.
Replaced's art director knows what the heck they're doing. The look of this dystopia, set in an alternate history 1980s America, takes the 16-bit graphics I grew up with and pluses them up with soft dynamic lighting and some absolutely brilliant cinematography.
Guardate che figata ragazzi, è in pixel art ma in un mondo tutto fatto con le ultime tecnologie.
You play as Reach, an AI that lives in the body of a man named Warren, who wakes up after having been literally left for dead amongst a pile of corpses. The world of Phoenix City you see before you is the evolution of a worldwide nuclear event that occurred several decades prior. There are diaries, news articles, and other ephemeral bits of world-building information scattered around for you to collect and read in your wingman. Think of it as this cyberpunk world's version of a 1980s Walkman meets Palm Pilot. Replaced starts simply enough, keeping you on a left-to-right 2D plane, old-school style, and having you do little more than some basic platforming. But it establishes its setting so amazingly well and quickly to boot. Whether it's the aforementioned digital clippings revealing pieces of the
questo ha fatto impazzire tutti quando l'hanno presentato la prima volta. E forse ci siamo ragazzi, qualcosa si sta per muovere.
Things are clearly grim in Phoenix City.
Bam!
Before long, you'll have to fight to survive, as you'll be forced to throw hands with a couple of faction members and soon entire gangs of them. And that's where Replaced will next impress you. It's packing a proper Batman Arkham combat system.
Come? Davvero?
Enemies who are about
no,
to
c'ha il free flow? Dai, non ci credo, ma che cazzo dici?
When you see that to instantly counter them. And then,
già ero in hype, adesso mi è salito l'hype di tipo 3 tacche.
Bolt appears over a foe's head, that means they're about to unleash an unblockable or uncounterable attack, and you need to press the A button at just the right moment to dodge roll away. Successful dodges and parries charge up a special attack meter, which in Replaced's case means you get to either fire a shot from your found firearm at distance, or brutally execute an enemy if you're at point-blank range. Of course, it'll get more complicated. Before long, rifle-wielding bad guys will enter the fray, and the timing window changes on their obviously unblockable bullets. Enemy heavies will complicate things too. There was just one in the opening minutes of Replaced, and probably by design, he wasn't too tough to tango with. All of his attacks are unblockable, and he takes a ton of hits to bring down, but he didn't have friends left by the time we faced off, so it was a very straightforward introduction to the higher hit point heavies you'll face off against later in the game. So I expect the fisticuffs to ramp up significantly over the course of Replaced's runtime in every sense of the word: number of enemies, difficulty, etc. Soon, Replaced began introducing the 2.5D elements, literally expanding its world by letting me walk to the background or foreground to get something I needed to progress onwards. You'll need to grab onto dumpsters to slide them around in order to climb up on them to reach a higher ladder or to bridge a gap. Just as one example. While this opening sequence didn't offer me too much freedom of movement within the environment, I know it eventually will because I've seen it before in last year's demo. I should add, though, that exploring will sometimes reward you with pickups that are often tucked out of plain sight. I won't go so far as to call them secrets just yet, and they'll fill out your dossier and shed a little bit more light on this broken world, or give you an upgrade. I wouldn't go so far as to say that Replaced is going to have replayability per se, but if the developers do an awesome enough job at building out the backstory of Phoenix City,
della data non so nulla ancora, stiamo vedendo questi video apposta.
To want to go back and find all of the hidden bits of information. This year's demo, again, since it was the very beginning of the game, also didn't show off the biggest pleasant surprise from my initial hands-on with it last year: the RPG hiding under its 2.5D cyberpunk aesthetic. From the first couple of extremely impressive trailers, I'd thought that Replaced was just, in quotes, a side-scrolling action-adventure game. But no, it's got sections packed with quest-giving NPCs and the ability to free roam the area. I absolutely can't wait to dig into more of this. But getting back to this newest slice of Replaced, I should take a moment to compliment the music.
Che bomba! Sì, è veramente bellissimo.
The soundtrack is key to nailing the vibe in any dystopian cyberpunk piece of media, and Replaced wastes no time confirming it understands the assignment in that department.
Un po' nostalgia, un po' nuovo. Infatti, ne ha lo stile ma non la sostanza. Non è nostalgico, è un gioco moderno spalmato di nostalgia. È bellissimo.
I'd also like to shout out the animation. I'm not sure if this will make sense, but in attempting a retro look complemented by modern visual touches like in Replaced, there is such a thing as the animation being too good. I would argue that the development team at Sad Cat Studios has struck a perfect balance here. Neither Reach nor his enemies move too smoothly. Instead, they have a slightly stilted movement to them, which only adds to the broken, beat-down spirit of Phoenix City, and it sells the Neo 16-bit look even more perfectly in my eyes. When I reached the end of the demo build of Replaced, all I wanted was to play more. It is simply a captivating game from top to bottom so far, and I can't wait to see where Reach's story goes, as well as what the deeper plot reveals. I'm also eager to find out how much deeper the combat and RPG elements specifically go. I'd love nothing more than for my spidey sense to prove correct, and for Replaced to be one of the best and most memorable games of 2026, even if we already know that Grand Theft Auto 6 will dominate the headlines. We don't have a release date for Replaced quite yet, but I get the sense that it's close.
Non c'è
Hopefully, we'll soon find out exactly when we can see just how special the final game is. For more previews of the biggest upcoming games, don't miss our recent hands-on looks at Resident Evil Requiem and Hollow Knight Silksong. And for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
Subito dopo c'è un altro video, ragazzi, che è un aggiornamento proprio degli sviluppatori. Eccolo qua. Ma che figata. Mega Synthwave.
Hello everyone, this is Yura, game director of Replaced, and I'm here today with a special update. Last year, we had unveiled an extended gameplay look, and were truly blown away by the positive response from the community.
Eh sì, sono impazziti tutti per sto
I have
gioco.
to admit, it was a little bit scary showing gameplay for the first time. But I'm sure you're all wondering, how far are we from completing the game? So let's dive in.
Oh, bene.
As you probably know, the game has seen a couple of delays. And even though we understand that it's somewhat frustrating, we have always been trying to do what's best for the project, which in turn meant doing everything to try bringing you a truly special experience. Right now, we're really close to finishing production, swiftly going into intense testing and polishing of the game.
Ok, 6 mesi.
We have been working really hard all those years to justify the wait. Over the course of time,
Marzo-aprile
we have updated and
2026,
improved
secondo me.
every aspect of the game since the announcement. All the environments that you have seen have received multiple upgrades, increasing the overall immersion as well as visual fidelity of the style.
No, vabbè, ma guarda che...
Some of them have even
Io posso
gotten
morire.
completely new
Queste cose
context,
le adoro.
amplifying the significance of certain characters, as well as adding up to a believable story behind those places. Our
Questi
goal is
hanno
to
iniziato
make
con un'idea,
no shortcuts.
si sono resi conto
Do
che
everything in a
erano
classic
impazziti
way,
tutti e hanno
producing
aumentato
thousands
l'idea.
of objects, all in handcrafted pixel art.
Eh sì. Ah, pixel art fatta a mano. O 50 euro non penso.
Speaking of that, nothing shows our commitment to making everything with a human touch more than our animation. Over the years, we have painted a mind-boggling amount of pixel art movements, bringing our character and the people around him to life. Just for our protagonist, Reach, we have done more than 600 clips of animation, which effectively translates to several thousands of hand-painted frames. Many of those animations are blended together with beautiful VFX, amplifying the mix between retro and modern visuals. All that allowed us to push the variety of story content and cutscenes, creating a seamless blend of cinematic and gameplay bits. We have spent countless hours on blocking our scenes to blend 2D animation, camera angles, and 3D object movement, creating an illusion of a cohesive world.
E probabilmente uscirà anche per console. Che si stanno facendo una cosa così ambiziosa pur rimanendo
With that
all'interno
being
di un
said,
progetto
it's time for the
considerabile
most important
piccolo.
question.
Oh, eccolo qua.
This is the first time I'm addressing this personally, and that's because I can finally say it with confidence. Replaced will be released in spring of 2026.
Ci avevo azzeccato.
We will need just a little more time to get it polished. And to be more precise, our final trailer for the game, with the exact release date, will be shown later this year.
Probabilmente ai Game
We'll
Awards.
also be sharing more on our social media soon, so please follow us for more updates leading up to release. Just like last time, I'm truly thankful to every person who have been keeping the game in mind for such a long time, enabling us to do something we love and proud to share with the world.
Guarda quest'altro
I
video.
hope to see you at the end of our journey.
Uno dei più stilosi giochi 2D mai fatti. Madonna ragazzi. Ok. Che culo ci avevo azzeccato oltretutto. Allora gente, io che cosa vi posso dire? È assolutamente meraviglioso. È anche meglio di quello che mi immaginavo all'inizio quando l'ho visto la prima volta, che mi sembrava un'idea carina, originale, stilosa e fatta con cura, ma magari piccolina. E a quanto pare si sono presi il tempo, considerando la reazione molto positiva che c'è stata nei confronti di questo gioco, di andare molto oltre e di fare un qualcosa di più ambizioso fin da subito, no? Perciò hanno rinviato il gioco un paio di volte, e però l'hanno fatto per un motivo, cioè per un motivo che di solito non è quello solito, tipo abbiamo bisogno di più tempo, ci sono stati dei problemi. No, è che si sono resi conto di avere per le mani, secondo me, un qualcosa che andava molto al di là dell'idea che avevano inizialmente. Ho come l'impressione che abbiano iniziato ad avere seriamente paura che quello che avevano mostrato fosse troppo bello e le persone si aspettassero di più, e quindi scattava il momento in cui avrebbero dovuto offrire più di quello che erano pronti ad offrire, no? Secondo me è andata così, mia speculazione ovviamente. E però da quello che abbiamo visto l'attesa è valsa la pena. Quindi ragazzi, trailer finale del gioco, di questa cosa bellissima, non c'è assolutamente bisogno di dire altro, è meravigliosa e probabilmente è diventata una delle cose che attendo di più da qui a un po' di mesi. Trailer finale quest'anno, è uscita in primavera 2026, quindi non si tratta neanche di aspettare chissà quanto. Ragazzi, veramente bellissimo, e dai, è diventato uno dei miei giochi più attesi, sì.